this is optional again. As well, they will need to tell us whether the notice of commencement is either posted at the job site or not required. And this is basically a reminder for them that they have to do the notice of commencement under certain conditions. And if they need more information about that, they can click the link to get more information about that required notice of commencement. Once they've said that, they will click the button to submit an inspection request. And this will be updated and it will say your inspection has been requested. And I'll show you how what the city sees on that in a little bit. But the last thing that the permit holder can do is maybe make a few changes about themselves. They probably will not be able to change their username. We need to decide whether they'll be able to change their name or the name of their company. That probably will not be allowed to be changed. But they can change their address, their phone number, their email address if they want to pick a different security question. If they want to change their password, they'll probably use this page as well. Contractors, they probably will need to change the insurance information when the policy expires to put in their new information to keep this current. The system will not allow the permit to be issued if this information on this page shows that the insurance is expired. And that is the last thing that the permit applicant can do for the time being. So now we'll go back to see if there's any questions. Oh, there's several questions. Other fees required to be paid, such as surcharges. When are those fees added to the permit fee to be paid? Currently, the way the requirements are written, the permit fees, the surcharges are included in the $500 flat fee. And I'll show you from the city perspective, there will be a financial report that shows all the fees that have been charged and all the job values. And that report will also show what the surcharges that are due are. And they'll be calculated automatically, but they will not be added to the $500 fee. They will be deducted from. And I want to say it's about $40 per permit. $24 for a BORA and $6.93 for each of two Florida state statute surcharges. Is the applicant going to be required to upload a location plan of the specific site? At this time, no. There will be no documents uploaded during the application process. If that's a requirement, then that needs to be discussed. Can the applicant upload, or are they required to upload an actual photo of the roof structure building? The answer to that, again, is no. They're not uploading anything, actually. The roof structure building, they must choose from one of the pre-approved types of roofs. So we're telling them what types of roofs they can apply for permits on, and it has to fall under one of those categories. Is there an area of the website where the systems can be viewed without being in the application screen? Where the systems can be viewed? Yes, on the should I use this website, on the welcome page under the help, they will be able to see all of the systems that are available, and it'll say if you're going to install one of these, then use the system. If you're not going to install one of these, then you can't use the system, so yes. What is the notice of commencement noticing to the applicant? The system is only providing reminders about the notice of commencement. They are required to fulfill those requirements. And when the inspectors go out, I think the notice of commencement must be posted. This is more of a building question than a technical question, so I'll probably leave this for the building officials to answer for us. There are 6 types of inspections. Can the contractor ask for more than one inspection at a time? Currently, no. Currently, the inspections are sequential. That's a good question. Maybe that's something that needs to be added in the future, but the scope of the system right now does not include that capability. I would suggest to remove the not required button for the NOC. All systems cost more than $2,500, which means that all systems will require a notice of compliance. That's a good point. I will confirm that with our building officials, make sure it's okay here, and if that's the case, then absolutely, we should remove that. How does the plan review process work? How will planning and zoning approval be obtained? Unfortunately, that's not something that I can answer because I'm the developer working on the system, and that's more of a business question. And we will come back and answer more questions at the end of the presentation. But what I do know is that all of the designs that will be available through the system will be pre-approved, and they will have to go through all the normal approval processes that they go through now, I imagine. So we'll come up with a plan and put it in the system, and it will be a signed and sealed plan design. The original agreement was to charge $500 for the permit plus the surcharges and BORA fees. Now the fees are deducted from the permit fee. Again, unfortunately, that's not a technical question I can answer. That's something that I'll defer to Jeff and Armando. The way the requirements have been written, the way the spec is currently, that is my understanding that it's $500 including the fees. But that's something to discuss with the project directors and the building officials. That was the last question. So unless someone raises a hand, I'm going to continue and finish up with the last aspect of the system. Oh, wait, one more question. I'm seeing a raised hand, but I'm not seeing an actual question typed in, so I'm not going to be able to answer that. But don't hesitate. We can answer more questions later. What you have to do if you want to ask a question is raise your hand and then also type in your question to that little box. You may have to maximize it on your computer to see the box where you type the question in. Okay, so moving forward, the last aspect of the system you will see today is how the cities will use the system. The cities will have the ability to do everything you've already seen. Cities will be able to edit things and update things and review things and search and look at all the help, of course. In addition to all of those capabilities, the agency representatives will see an email each time that a permit is issued for their jurisdiction. That will happen automatically. It won't mean that the permit issuance is held. The permit will still be issued, but a notification will be sent out immediately after the permit is issued. And there will be a link I'll show you to go right to the permit and see what the details about it. Each time an inspection is requested, the city representative that is designated by the cities will receive an email, and they'll have a link back to see the inspection, acknowledge it, and put in the result after the inspection is performed. And the agency representatives the authorized agency representatives will have the ability to upload their logos, change the contact information, their phone numbers, the contact email addresses. And the agency representatives will also have a couple of reports. There will be a permit list and a financial report. And I'll show you examples of those mock-ups. And after that, we'll stop again for questions and answers. That will be the conclusion of the demonstration. So the first thing that the agency representatives will see, according to the list, is that a permit was issued. And I think you already saw that, but I will show you again. Here we go. When a permit is issued, the Sunshot system will send to the person you designate a brief email. The content may change a little bit. It probably will provide more information than just this. This is a mock-up again. But primarily, it'll give you the permit number. It'll tell you it was issued, and it will give you a link. And when you click the link, it will take you to the system. Right now, it takes you right there. In the future, when it's live, you will log on. It will send you to the page to log on. You will log on, put in your password, and then you will get to this page to see the permit that was issued. Once you click that link in the email, the system will add this information to the permit. It will say this permit has been acknowledged, the date and time, and who the person was that clicked that link and logged on, so that we know each agency has seen the permit issued for their jurisdiction. The other email that will arrive will be for inspections, and Each time that a permit holder requests an inspection, the system will automatically send an email to the person that you designate to say an inspection was requested. Again, there will be more information on the email. This is kind of empty right now, but you will click a link to see the inspection. When you click that link, it will add that you acknowledge that inspection request, the date and time and who. You will use this page to look at the inspection request if they entered a preferred date and time and whatever comment the customer entered. And then when the inspection is complete, this is the same page that the cities will use to enter the result of the inspection. You'll put in the date that it was completed, the time it was completed, the result, approved, disapproved. You can put other things, canceled, and a comment. And that's pretty much it for the inspection. It's pretty straightforward. Again, each inspection, they'll be sequential, so they'll be one at a time. You will be able to go back to this page after each one is done and do the next one. If you've done more than one inspection, the system won't stop you from entering them one after the other, but you will have to do them individually, of course. And the last thing, next to the last thing, these are the two reports that agency representatives will have access to, and these are mock-up drafts, but they probably will look something like this. Just a plain old permit list, which looks like 100 other permit lists you may have already seen before. Permit number, issued, fee, job value, address, owner, permit holder. This will also tell you the inspections for each permit, how many were done and how many are still waiting to be done. This is not real data. This is just a mock-up. So it may not make sense to you because they all say 2 done, 4 due. At the bottom, it'll give you totals. Total number of fees collected, total of the job values, how many permits, and total inspections. And that's pretty much it for the permit list. Oh, there will be a date range option. You will choose what permit issue dates you would like to see, and you will also choose whether you want to see one jurisdiction or all jurisdictions. And you can see any jurisdictions report or the report for all jurisdictions right through here. You didn't see the selection page, but there will be one. And we'll get to questions in just a minute. The other report that will be available, right now the requirements document calls for only 2 reports, and these are those 2 reports. In the future, any report can be developed for any information that's in the database. But right now there are 2. The revenue report looks like this, or it will look something like this. Again, you'll be able to choose one jurisdiction or all jurisdictions. You'll be able to choose the date range for the money collected. And this report will give you the transaction number that comes back from the bank. So this is a bank transaction number if the amount has to be audited. There will be a transaction date, the permit number, probably a transaction time, the permit number, and then each column will show how much money was collected under each type of credit card. American Express, Discover, MasterCard, Visa, and then the total at the right. The amounts will be broken down by how much was collected for the permit and how much was collected for the bank fees. And this is for financial purposes. This matches closely what we do today, and it includes the information that we need today to process web payments for other purposes at the county. The report will show you totals. It will show how many permits are listed, the total for each credit card type, the total, and at the bottom, this is what we were talking about a little earlier, it will tell you how much is due in terms of fees. So the BORA surcharge for 5 permits at $24 a permit is $120. So this will calculate based on the number of permits how much BORA surcharge is payable, and also how much is payable for each of the 2 Florida statute surcharges. And it shows you that it's calculating at the number of 5 permits times $6.93 per permit.